Hello my friends, and welcome back to Thuya Hill. I'm so glad to have you here for this video because we are going to be talking about some quick summer bites that you can feed your family. The first meal we're going to make is courgette cakes and roasted sausage. It goes without saying that before I cook any meal for my family, I love to put on a good album. And tonight, it's none other than Rachel and Vilray, and the album is called I Love a Love Song, and this album has become a fast favorite this summer. I highly recommend it. And of course, one of my favorite things to do is to set a nice table. Now, most nights this will happen no matter who is coming for dinner. I dare say that if it was even just myself, I would go ahead and set a nice table setting because I think it's really important when it comes to enjoying a meal that your atmosphere is also enjoyable and pleasant as well. And so that's why I put effort into doing this each night. What I love about this meal is how easy it is for a summer night. So I buy these sausages from Aldi. They are pretty decent. They're imported from Germany and we do enjoy them every now and again. And so I will roast them in the oven at 350 for about 25 minutes. And when they are nice and brown, then I take them out. And I always like to top my sausages with some herbs and some olive oil and a little bit of sea salt and pepper. Alright, now we're really going to get into it. I'm pulling out my grater from Rossley, and I'm going to go ahead and grate my courgettes down. And I'm going to use between 2 and 3 big courgettes tonight, and that will just give me a good amount for our supper tonight and some leftovers as well. After grating our courgettes, we're going to add about a cup of cheese and 3 eggs to this mixture. And mix well. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and add some fresh garlic. I am just adding 1 large clove to this mixture. And then of course, one of the highlights of this dish is the herbs inside of it. So I'm going to be using fresh basil from the garden as well as parsley. And you're going to chop those finely and add them to your mixture. Now we're going to add a half a cup of all-purpose flour to this courgette mixture and about a half a teaspoon of salt and freshly ground pepper to taste. And then you will go ahead and mix everything well. So I'm going to be frying these up in some tallow tonight. I love tallow. It's a healthy traditional fat. It has a really high smoke point, and it is one of the best fats for frying. So I'm going to go ahead and shape these courgette cakes into little balls, kind of like a crab cake or a potato cake. And then I'm just going to put my formed courgette cakes into a hot cast iron pan that has tallow, and I will flip them accordingly. And now they're done and ready to be plated up. And our sausages are also ready to be plated up as well. And there you have it, some delightful courgette cakes with some roasted sausages for a quick summer bite. And next on the menu is marinated flank steak tacos with homemade tortillas. Now I love this recipe for summertime because I don't have to turn on my oven. In fact, I get my steak all marinated and I let it sit for about half an hour to an hour, and then I grill it on the grill, and that means I don't have to heat up the house with the oven, which is just great. So for the marinade, I like to put in a generous amount of olive oil and sea salt and coconut aminos. I also love to use the juice of at least 2 limes, some fresh garlic, the juice from half a lemon, and freshly chopped up basil. And finally, I add in a healthy tablespoon of chili powder. And this marinade is just delicious. It has all the right flavors in it, and it's not too spicy. It's a really fantastic marinade, in my opinion. With our flank steak now marinating in the refrigerator, we're going to get on creating our accoutrement board. I like to put lots of little goodies out on a cutting board. So here I've got some fermented jalapenos and some sour cream and some salsa. And what would any taco recipe be without a homemade guacamole, right? So I'm going ahead and making some guacamole. And my beloved husband came in and showed me one of his favorite parts of Lord of the Rings, and we just had a fun time discussing that. I've actually never read that book, believe it or not. This is going to be my first go at reading the Lord of the Rings, and as you can see, I'm quite happy about it. I won't be starting till this fall, but I'm really excited for the adventure it will be. So in my guacamole, I put in a bit of olive oil, sea salt, garlic, and of course some fresh lime juice. Of course, presentation is important, so I like to add some fresh limes to my plate just to make it pretty, and also in case we desire some fresh lime juice on our tacos. Alright, now that our accoutrement board is ready and our meat is marinating, we are going to get on making the homemade tortillas. So this is such an easy recipe. I will share it with you in the link below, but basically it's just all-purpose flour, baking soda, salt, a bit of butter, and water. And that's it. I mean, it's really that simple to make your own homemade tortillas. It does take a little bit of time and some forethought, but it's not hard to do. And the taste is exceptional. So if you haven't made your own tortillas yet, I would hope that you would give it a go. It's well worth your time and effort. Alright, it's time to head outside and get on grilling our marinated flank steak. I am just going to go ahead and put both pieces of our flank steak on the grill here and let them cook up until they are medium rare in the middle, which obviously won't take very long. Now it's time to thinly slice the flank steak and get everything prepped up on plates. But there's one more thing I forgot that is essential in any type of meal, but especially this type of meal, and that is going out to the garden and getting some fresh cilantro. Any kind of taco dish screams for cilantro, and I have a lot of it in the garden right now, so I had to make that little trip out there to go get some. So now it's time to plate up. I like my taco with all the trimmings, and especially with those fermented jalapenos. Those are so delicious. That is it. There is our marinated flank steak tacos, perfect for a warm summer evening. Okay, and last but not least, grilled bacon burgers with sweet potato fries and homemade aioli. Now this is a summer staple for many of us, and most of you watching this already have your favorite ways that you make burgers. But one thing that makes this recipe tonight super special is the addition of a homemade garlic aioli. So I get started by getting my bacon cooked in the oven before I do anything else. This is just an easy first step that can be cooking away while I work on other things. Next, I move on to getting my sweet potato fries ready. These fries are so delicious. Long ago, I learned that it's helpful to add either cornstarch or arrowroot powder to your sweet potato fries before they cook so that they get nice and crispy in the oven. So as you can see here, I'm adding a generous portion of some arrowroot powder. And once you do that, you're just going to mix well with your hands, as you can see I'm doing here. And then I'm going to be using coconut oil tonight. My coconut oil is liquid at the moment because it is hot in the house, and so it's just easier to work with. And then I'm going to go out to the garden and pick some thyme and cilantro. And that's because I love having thyme and cilantro or parsley on my sweet potato fries. I think it's just such a nice addition. It makes them look pretty and it makes them taste delicious. All right, the bacon is done, as you can see here, and now it's time to get our fries in the oven. And now I'm getting my burger patties all formed and just adding some simple sea salt to the top, and I'm gonna take them out to the grill. It really is not rocket science. I mean, burgers in the summer are just one of my favorite go-tos. You don't have to turn the oven on. They're super simple to prepare, and they're a crowd pleaser, quite frankly. So I'm going to cook these until a few of them are medium well and a few of the others are medium. All right, time to flip our burgers. So the aioli recipe I am using tonight is one of my favorites, and it's from Alice Waters. If you don't have this cookbook, it is a must-have for the home cook. Her recipes are so wonderful and helpful to have with you in the kitchen. You will love this aioli recipe. It's very strong. I will tell you, it does have egg yolk, olive oil, sea salt, and garlic in some fashion. Making this aioli is actually quite a workout, especially if you're doing it with a whisk, and so you'll find that if you choose to do it at home. You want it to be this consistency once you're done whisking. You can see on my finger it's almost like a mustard texture. Okay, I've got my buns done. I bought some seeded brioche buns from Aldi. They were imported from France, which is super special. Got a nice big red tomato, an onion from the garden. I'm also going to add some Celtic sea salt to my sweet potato fries. I've got some romaine from the garden and some homemade pickles. And now we're going to get on getting our burgers ready. This is the best part right here. This is what summer is all about. Bright red juicy tomatoes, tons of delicious garden produce. I just love this time of year. There are so many fun summer foods that one can make in their kitchen, and burgers are definitely at the top of the list for me. On my burger, just like on my tacos, I like all the accoutrements I can get. I load it up high, and I especially love to add aioli on my burger. Those are the summer bites that I have to share with you. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video, and I look forward very much to seeing you in the next one. Goodbye for now.